Hi everyone, author Alice Brown here and Lady V, and we're here today to talk about how everything got started, how we became authors. Do you remember?
Kind of a very unusual story compared to those of others, I would say.
Yes, it is. Lady V was still in high school when we originally came up with the idea of wanting to write. And do you remember where we were?
We were at the local Wendy's.
Yes. Lady V had finished her schoolwork. I homeschooled her clear through high school. And she'd finished up early. And we decided to go to Wendy's for...
early dinner.
Yeah, well, actually...
late lunch,
it was
early
late
dinner.
lunch. Yeah, late lunch. And at the time, there was a show called Moonlight. Alex O'Lofton, right?
Alex O'Lofton.
Such a good...
heartthrob.
He made such a good vampire. Unfortunately, it came on about the same time. There was a writer's strike, and did it make it? It was either one or two seasons. One season, and that was it. It stopped, and I was so heartbroken because I loved that show. And so, Lady V, when I was complaining about my favorite show,
we had gone through at least a month of complaining about this show not being on.
Yeah, because I was really upset. And she says, "Mom, why don't you write a story?" And I said, "What am I supposed to write about?" And she says, "Write about your life. You've had a past, write about it." And I said to her, "Who wants to hear an old lady's story?" Nobody. And she says, "You might be surprised. Put a paranormal twist to it, Mom. Come up with a vampire story." And so that got me thinking. We sat down to eat and we started talking and bouncing ideas off of each other.
I think you had at the time one of those tiny, they're probably about this big, notebooks in her purse. Little tiny spiral ones that have no room in them at all.
That'll fit in your pocket or something.
We went through that.
We went through that completely. How many napkins did we end up going through after that? Because then we started grabbing Wendy's napkins and started writing on those. But by the end of a very, very long lunch, Vampires Among Us was born. Now, bear in mind, this was 8 years ago?
8 or 9 years ago.
Because it took me quite a while. I know it was 2 years before.
No, it had to have been at least 9 because I was in high school.
Okay, 9 years. I know it was almost 3 years in the making before I ever even tried to put it out there. So it was a long time coming. But that got us thinking after that. That got us thinking, okay, well, let's see what else we can come up with. Let's see what we can do to write together. Mm-hmm. And we had made each other a promise back when she was still in high school and I was working on Vampires Among Us that we both wanted to become published authors. And so whoever got picked up by a publisher first would bring the other one in. That was the deal we made with each other.
Yep.
And I tried with there's only 5 main publishers out there, folks. 5, that's it.
5 main publishing houses.
And I tried going through several agents, had no luck whatsoever. But then I was heartbroken. Now that I know the truth about things, I don't worry about it. The truth is there's 5 main publishing houses out there. You're lucky if they pick up 5 to 7 new authors a year. Okay? But they are literally handed thousands of manuscripts every single day. So 99.9% of those go straight in the garbage can.
They don't even look at them.
Yeah, because let's face it, folks, they're a business. If they can't make money, if they can't be rest assured early on that this is a bestseller, it gets trashed. They don't. Stephanie Meyer's Twilight.
Yes.
It was dug out of the garbage.
It was rescued from the garbage.
It was rescued from the garbage because they had thrown it out.
And look at how big a success that was.
Yeah, it's huge. So, but anyway, going back, so we went with what I now consider B publishers, or
indie publishing
indie publishing companies. The first one I had no luck getting her in whatsoever, but the second one did work with us and bring her into, and that started the Dragons of Dragonose series, which we are in the process right now of rewriting, revamping, editing.
We're adding a lot to that series as we go. There was a lot of detail that we kind of skimmed over in putting in the first round when we published it, and we really, as the years went on, we really missed having put that in there. And so now we're taking the time to really go back and develop the world of Dragonos a lot more, add more detail, add a lot more description. It's definitely not going to be the same book that was originally published.
No, not whatsoever. Well, we've grown as writers over the years, and we've got the chance to go back and correct our mistakes, and that's what we're doing.
As an author myself, I would say that the hardest thing to do is find the time to juggle between writing and reading. Because you pick up a book and you start to read it and you're enjoying it, but then you feel like, I should be writing, I should be working. Reading is working, and you need to work on getting your mindset to accept that, because as the more you read, the more you're going to pick up on these little tidbits from each other author. Every author has their own little critique or their own little style.
They have a style, yeah.
And so the more that you read, the more you're going to expand on your own style. You can take little tidbits here and there, a certain word that you pick up from another author. I know I do that all the time. I pick up all kinds of words.
I pick up on style. There was one style that I picked up on early on, where there was an action scene right at the beginning, and it just totally grabbed my attention, and I was like, oh, I love this. I've not seen this. You don't find that many.
One of the ones that I love is the prologue that I found a style of it's somewhere in the middle of the book. It's just a quick scene, but it's a really intriguing scene. It's one that just grabs you immediately, and you put that as the prologue, and then just starting at chapter 1, you're just like, everything's calm. Where did this come from? And you're like, I've got to find out where that is in this book. What scene this is.
So, she's right, though. The more you read other authors, you'll develop your own style and your own taste. And that will come through in your books. So, that's how we started things, though. In the middle of our local Wendy's, of all places. Do you remember where we were when we developed Dragons of Dragonos?
Where were... I can't recall that one.
We were over in Smithfield, North Carolina, at Zaxby's. We had your father with us.
That's right.
And he literally sat at the table for 2 hours as we were ping-ponging ideas off of each other.
Thankfully, we had a bigger notebook with us that time.
Yes, we did. We've
learned to carry bigger purses with bigger notebooks and multiple pens.
But he literally sat there and watched what he described as a ping-pong match of ideas being bounced back and forth, but
of course, him being a prior D&D fan, Dungeons and Dragons, he was enthralled with having heard this idea.
He was like, wait a minute, I've got this idea. Why don't you add this in there? And he loved it.
Anytime that he can get involved with the whole paranormal or fantasy sci-fi and throwing little details in there, he loves it.
Yeah. Well, when I wrote A New Day Dawns, the original
even before New Day Dawns, you had a special gift.
A special gift. The baby shows these incredibly
extraordinary
gifts. Teleportation and
astral
projection, telekinesis, all this stuff. And I remember going to your father before.
I think it was like 2:00 in the morning. You woke him up,
and I'm like, What is it called when one person can go, their body stays in one spot, but their spirit like jumps? And he's like, oh, that's astral projection. And I'm like,
astral what?
Astral what? Spell that. And so, yes, I have used his knowledge in some of that stuff over the years in the books. So it is truly a family affair here in the Brown household.
Yep. I would say that he has learned very well to, if we start ping-ponging, he either sits quietly in the corner or he goes outside with the dog.
Very true. Very true. Another area that he helps us out a lot in is the formatting process.
Formatting, yes.
He has the patience that I don't have, and the hours it takes to format.
If something doesn't print within 2 seconds, this woman here is hitting the print button 10 times, and then you have 10 copies or whatever.
What is going on with my printer? Yes, I have no patience.
No patience.
No patience, especially for electronics. Now, When I hit a button, I expect it to work like that. So, but yeah, he helps a lot with the formatting on all the different platforms that we have, and I am forever grateful for that, because that takes a lot of work off of me. Allows me to, okay, I go ahead and, you know, we write the book, we edit the book, you know, we've got the cover and everything, and then I kind of hand it off to him to do a lot of the formatting, which allows me to work on the next project and go back to writing, which is what I love to do. So,
You know, even going back a little further than starting Vampires Among Us, I will be forever grateful that you took the time in my high school years when I was dealing with a lot of internal and emotional issues to tell me to write it out, get it on paper. And even though I didn't feel comfortable about writing about myself, I was quickly able to develop a character or somebody else who was dealing with those same issues and write about them having it. And that I will forever be grateful for.
I think that's where you really picked up your writing at, was starting that down that road of, you know, I wanted her to kind of keep a journal. Anybody who has kids knows that as teenagers, especially females, you know, they don't deal with their emotions too well. It just doesn't happen. And so I was trying to get her to put her emotions on paper, and hopefully that would be enough to vent them out and process them, so she doesn't just bottle them all up. And little did I know that I was opening the door for her to become a writer.
Yeah, I think within the first year of high school, having done that, having put everything into words and creating my own worlds and my own characters who were dealing with the issues that I could not deal with on my own, but I could fix them for the character, which in turn helped me fix them for myself. That first year, I knew immediately, I don't want to work outside the house. I want to be a writer. My life calling is going to be a writer, because it helped so much. It alleviated so many emotions that I had pent up.
So yes, it did. So, and it's been a long journey.
It has.
And we've definitely learned a lot. We've dealt with our fair share of ups and downs. And we took a step back for almost 4 years because of a couple really down points. But we're back now.
We're back.
We're stronger than ever. We're literally rewriting every book we ever had out there. One by one, they're all being rewritten, new materials being added to each one of them. We've got several new projects in the works.
We do.
We have Monster Mob. Monster Mob is, I got the original idea when we were up visiting her fiance up in New Jersey, and there's a little town called Hoboken up there, Hoboken, New Jersey. It is a wonderful, beautiful little town. And her fiance took us to a pizza place there that I just absolutely fell in love with. And in the middle of that visit sparked the beginnings of Monster Mob.
He took us on a tour of the town, showed us some of the old structures that have been redone, remodeled.
Gave us some history of the town, and
it was a wonderful trip. It really was.
Yeah, and then we, on a car ride, we got going on that car ride back home.
From Florida.
Yeah, we ended up going down to Florida.
Which from Florida to North Carolina is about a 13-hour drive, so you can imagine how much time we had.
And I said to her, you know, we need to start fleshing out Monster Mob series and seeing what we can do with it. And by the time that 13-hour trip was done, she had a notebook full of notes, and we had the outline of five books for that series already fully, you know, down and ready to go. So that's the series that we're working on. We also have the Paranormal Brady Bunch, which is a really cute story that actually developed when her fiance came across while out jogging a
litter of
kittens that had been dumped, and they were just a couple weeks old, and they were starving, and they were in very bad shape, sick. They were in horrible shape.
They were nothing. You weren't even sure if they were going to make it when they first arrived.
We lost one within an hour of getting them home. He was too far gone.
All of them, unfortunately.
But we saved 6, and we found homes. 2 of them went to her fiance's aunt. 2 of them went to
Your beta reader.
Yeah, my beta reader and best friend, and then we kept 2 of them. So they have been fantastic additions to this household, but they also gave us the idea of
Paranormal
Brady Bunch. So we that's a 2-book series right there that's in the works that we're working on. What else have we got going on?
Oh wow, we've so aside from rewriting the Vampires Among Us series and rewriting the Dragons of Dragonos series, which is already a 5-book series as is,
Plus we
have more books to add to it.
I was going to say there's 2 more books that we know that will eventually be added to that series. We have the Texas Vampire Rangers that will be rewritten. Hardcore Men. Hardcore Men will be completely rewritten.
We also have 2 Christmas stories that we are rewriting into one book.
Yes, actually one of those Christmas stories I'm almost done rewriting. The second one is still, but they are going to be combined into one book as a relatively short stories. So
2 short stories in one, both Christmas, both paranormal.
Yeah, both paranormal Christmas. Both have good looking vampires, so
and happy endings.
Yes.
Gotta have happy endings.
So we have a lot coming up in the near future. Stay tuned. We hope you enjoyed this video and getting to know us a little bit more and finding out where it all began. So be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't already, so you can be alerted to when we have new videos out. And we will see you next time. Have a great day.
Bye.
Hi everyone, Alice Brown, Lady V here. We bring you a lot of different videos. Some of them are going to be on cooking, some of them are going to be Dollar Tree hauls from different books. But first and foremost, please remember, we are authors, we are independent authors, and we rely on you, our fans, to get us through. Currently, we have 2 books out for sale, and these are the Vampires Among Us series, book 1 and 2. Book 3 will be coming out very shortly. All information is on our website, and that is AliceBrownLadyV.com.
And you can find the link to that in the description below.
Yes.
If you want to just quick, easy, click on it.
Very true, yes. This book is not only available in paperback, but it is also available on all ebook forms, whether you have a Kindle or Nook or whatever.
iBooks, Apple Books.
And it is available on all of them, and all links are available on the website. So please go check us out. The other thing is if you like our books, the biggest thing you can do for us, biggest favor you can do, is leave a review. Even if it is just 1 or 2 words, it means so much to us, and it does help us out tremendously. Amazon has their own algorithms, and it means a lot when you leave a review for especially an independent author. We have very few tools in our tool chest to help get word out there, and our fans leaving reviews is one of the best things you could possibly do for an author. So
we rely heavily on you to help spread the word, help get the word out there about these books, about us in general. And we want to be with you. We want to be out there with all of our fans and spread the love of these books, of reading, of writing, and the community of it that brings us all together.
So thank you. And Guardian thanks you too, as he's photobombing this.
He gets paid in treats, so he's got to make his own statement.
Thank you for support. We love you.